Hey guys, this is Random Gaming here with another video for you guys, and today I'm doing a card review for the Hearthstone's new expansion that's coming out on the 1st of December, I believe now, Mean Streets of Gadgetzan. Now, this is one of the big fuck-off ones. This is just a fucking bunch of cards with a really cool theme, and we're going to get right into it. This set, overall, I think the set's really going to be really cool, and it's going to add a lot to the table. And I'm excited, and you should be too. I already pre-purchased my packs because I'm cheeky, and it's going to be good. There's a lot of cards to review, so I'm going to skip the intro because there's a lot of stuff to review, and there's going to be a lot of my opinion sprouted everywhere. But hopefully I get some of these right, and I don't fuck up. But I can't promise that. I'm going to probably get some of these really, really wrong, and it's gonna smell. Anyway, so let's go to our first card for the expansion. Mistress of Mixtures is a 1-mana 2/2 with Death Rattle. Restore 4 health to both players. Now this kind of reminds me of what's his face. It's the 1-mana 2/3 Death Rattle. Give 5 health to your opponent. Fucking, I can't remember its name. It's on the screen. But it seems like that, but it also heals you. And it's not as powerful, but it's got 1 less stat. I think this card's going to be actually pretty good, because I think the 4 health is just about as good as having 1+ health, maybe even better. I think it's just a really good common card, and you're going to see it a lot in Arena. I think it's quite a decent card. Not much else to say, but I think it's going to be good. Okay, then. So the next card is a 2-mana 2/1 Murloc with Battle Cry, deal 1 damage. Its name is Blowgill Sniper. Don't know why that was the last thing I said. But so, Blowgill Sniper. This kind of reminds me of the the 1-mana 1/1 deal 1 damage, but it's a Murloc and it's a 2-drop. Is this going to be good enough? I do not know. I'm not sure how strong Murloc's going to be, but they are pushing the Murloc thing again, which is exciting. I'm not sure if it's going to be good. It's kind of like, it just depends if the meta's there for it. If Murloc becomes a thing, I think it'll sit in there perfectly, because dealing some damage is really good. But otherwise it's not going to be run, I don't think, and it's just going to sit in your card collection. But I think it's a solid card. It's just it needs the support to actually do anything, and of course we will see. So I'm going to say has potential. So the next card is a 2-mana 2/3 Friendly Bartender. At the end of your turn, restore 1 health to your hero. Is this card good enough? Is the 1 health at the end of your turn good enough? Now, if you play this on turn 2, you're going to get about 2 health, I think, because like 2-drops don't last too long. Like after turn 3, they're usually gone, and sometimes they'll just die straight away. And I'm not sure if the 1 health is going to actually help you that much. Like, if you top deck this sometime and you're like, shit, I need health, you get this, it's like, yeah, 1 extra health. I mean, there might be a fucking hilarious highlight where some guy's like, I'm 1 off lethal, and then they, like, someone top decks Friendly Bartender and they get triggered, and then they lose or something. That'd be pretty funny. But I don't think it's that good. I really like the this card, though. It was one of the first to be released, and I just really like it. I'm not sure if it will get much play, but I'm gonna say it's bad. But in Arena it'll be all right, because it's, you know, it's an on curve 2-mana 2/3 with a half decent effect. So Arena good, constructed bad. Okay, next card, 2-mana 2/2 Gadgetzan Socialite. Battle Cry, restore 2 health. Now the cards, the Friendly Bartender and this are kind of similar with the health thing. Health is really good, and this is a guaranteed 2 health, so that's really, really good. I think this is slightly better than Friendly Bartender, because even though Friendly Bartender would win in a fight, but the healing effect is better because it's guaranteed, and that's really, really useful. So I think this is, but is this constructed level good? I don't know. I don't think so. Like, I'm like thinking borderline bad potential kind of thing, but I think it lean more to bad. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, and that's gonna suck. But healing is good, and it's to anyone as well, so that's really good. It's kind of like the 3 mana 3/3 restore 3 health. I can't remember his fucking name, but that guy. But a bit smaller, and but like a 3 mana 3/3 is technically on curve. This is not. Like if it was a 3/2 or a 2/3, it'd be a bit better. So I think it's just not good enough. Okay, so we have a 3 mana 3/1 Backstreet Leper. Death Rattle, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. I'm gonna say this card's bad, straight off the bat. Like, it just seems shit. Like, we have the Leper Gnome, which is a 1 mana 1/1 deal 2 damage to the enemy hero, and this is triple the fucking stats. Triple the mana for 2 extra stats and the same death rattle. That's shit. Like, that just seems really bad. Like, I mean, I guess it's more consistent now because you've got the same death rattle do 2 damage to the enemy hero, but that's not good enough. Like, there's so many easy, like, you know, it could get pinged by mage, it can get slaughtered by other cards, and it just doesn't seem good. Like, maybe if it was a 3 mana 3/2, but like even that's not that good. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a good card. It's like it just seems bad. I don't think anyone's gonna run it. People are gonna get it in not constructed, fucking arena. I know they'll be like, I think this is gonna be like a lol. No, I'm not. I'd rather get like something terrible. You know, am I right? But no, I don't think it's gonna be good. Okay then, so we have a 3 mana 4/3 hired gun, just a stat 4/3 with taunt. Now that's some pretty good stats. It kind of reminds me of that fucking 4 mana 4/3, but it has the immune effect, but instead it's got taunt. Like it's got the same stats. I think that card's like good, but like it's only good in certain decks, and you can like I think it's like Mill Rogue, you run it. And then you like fuck over your opponent. They get wrecked by fatigue damage. And you're sat there like get wrecked, and then they die. So the stats are good. I think it would have been better if it's a 3/4, but regardless, that 4 attack is welcome. I suppose. I'm not sure what that could kill. There's a lot of minions with 3 health. So like if it was a 3/4, it would be better. But this card has insane synergy with other cards that are coming up, and we'll probably come back to that. So I think this card has potential if those cards, come up. This is a good arena card, though, I think, because it's just a good stat taunt that is in the common slot, so that's pretty good. Okay, then, so we have a 3 mana 0/7 demon with spell damage 1, and it's neutral as well, so that's really uncommon. Now, unless you're gonna do the spell damage is quite good, I think, but unless because you've got the war. What's that fucking thing? The Cobalt Geomance. Actually, remember its name. 2 mana 2/2 spell damage 1. You're gonna run that over this because it's less mana. And there's also the the bigger version with spell damage 2. You're gonna run those over this because they're smaller, so you can actually shoot them all with spells. But it's got a lot of health, so it's hard to get rid of, which is good. So if you play this, there's not much chance of it getting destroyed in turn 3, and then next turn you can like get a bit of extra spell damage off. You could see synergy with this and Spirit Claws because this is quite sticky. Like 7 health on a minion's pretty good at turn 3. But the only those classic combo decks where you have it's not really combo, it's kind of terrible, but you have Divine Priest, Divine Spirit, Inner Fire. This becomes a what is it, 7, 14, 28, 28 with spell damage 1, and that will cost you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, exactly 10 mana. That seems alright, but of course you got all the cards. So if that takes off, then welcome to the meta, Street Trickster. But other than that, I'm not sure if it's going to get any play. Anyway, so next we have the 3 mana 4/3 Toxic Sewer Ooze, which is a battle cry and remove 1 durability from your opponent's weapon. It's kind of like the Swamp Ooze, the 2 mana 3/2, but on a bigger minion, and its battle cry isn't as good. Good cards it is good. There are some cards it's good against. For example, Gorehowl, that's its main enemy. Like this card fucks over Gorehowl really well, and people are gonna be upset when their Gorehowl gets wrecked by this 3 mana 4/3. And it's in the common slot as well, so it's going to be seen in arena a lot. I don't think this is going to get run over Swamp Ooze though, because the battle crate isn't as good, and that one's it's still on curve, and like not everyone runs weapons. So I think it's bad because its Battlecry isn't strong enough. It's got good stats though for, you know, for 3 mana 4/3 is really good, but I don't think it's good enough. Okay then, so we have the Daring Reporter, 4 mana 3/3. When your opponent draws a card, gain +1/+1. So basically this is a 4/4 because your opponent draws a card at the end of the start of their turn. It becomes a 4/4. So it's kind of on curve maybe-ish. I don't think it's going to be that well used. The only way you could use this is, I'm guessing, like Mill Druid or Mill Rogue, but why would you run this instead of more things to mill your opponent with? Or, you know, something to kill your opponent with? It kind of seems like it's, you know, just not needed. I mean, like, maybe Druid, you know, if you played 2 Naturalizers and 2 Cold Light Seers with, like, maybe get, like, Bran, Cold Light Seer, this. That is exactly 10 mana. 10 mana, 7/7, with a 2/4 as well. If my calculations are correct. I can't math, okay, leave me alone. But it doesn't seem strong enough, I don't think. And I don't think it's going to see much play. Okay then, so we have a 4 mana 2/6, Battlecry, restore a minion to full health. And the Hosen Healer. This guy, I think he'd be alright in fucking Priest, because this is a really good on curve for Injured Blademaster. Because you play Injured Blademaster, this next turn you've got Hosen Healer, and it'll heal all your opponent, fucking hell, your minion, and then you'd have a 4/7 and a 2/6, and minions with high health and Priest are really, really good because they get really, really sticky because of the hero power, and that's, you know, Priests really like that, but I don't think it's that strong. I mean, like, you could, if you have Sog Off, and it takes loads of damage, and you play this, then they're going to be pissed off, because they've just, like, done loads of damage, yet they fucked it themselves over. Or, you know, you ram Sog Off, or, like, a big minion with loads of attack into your opponent's minion, then you heal it with this. There's some good value there, but other than that, I'm not sure. I don't think it's strong enough for Constructed, but it'll be pretty decent in Arena, I think. Okay then, so we have a 4 mana 4/4 Kooky Chemist. Battlecry, swap the attack and health of a minion. So it's a bigger version of the 2 mana 2/2 version. I can't remember its name, I apologise. I don't think it's going to be that good. Battlecry isn't good enough, I don't think. That's being really mean, but I don't think it's good enough. And it's not going to be played, I don't think. Because the 2 mana 2/2 version does get play, and you would want the same effect on a smaller minion, because, you know, that means you've got more mana to play with, even if it is a bigger minion. I just don't think it's good enough. Next one, so we have the Naga Corsair, the 4 mana 5/4 Pirate. Battlecry, give your weapon +1 attack. That seems pretty good. If you have I'm not sure if that many 3 mana weapons exist, but you know, that's a good on curve, or, you know, you have Fiery War Axe, then you play this guy. So that seems pretty decent, but I'm not sure if it's strong enough. Like, it's really hard to fucking know if, like, things are, like, Constructed level good. This seems like a good minion in Arena because it's on curve. 4/4, 4 mana 5/4 is good, but Constructed depends. If you've got maybe a Pirate Warrior deck, or Pirate Rogue, I think they're trying to push that a tiny bit, but I don't think it's going to get much play. Okay then, so we have a 4 mana 4/4, the Tanaris Hog Chopper. Battlecry, if your opponent's hand is empty, gain charge. Of course, if it gets charged, then it's really good, but will it get charged? Nobody likes having no cards in their hand. I mean, in Arena this will be good, because then when your opponent's top decking, then this is like, if you get this card, you're like, yep, 4 mana 4/4, straight to the face, get wrecked, and it's going to fuck them over. But in fucking Constructed, it's not good enough, because no one in Constructed usually has an empty hand, and that's really bad for this card, because it's just a 4 mana 4/4 then, and that's not good enough. So in Constructed, not. In Arena, I think it'll be decent. People will have to play around this card. It's going to be annoying as fuck to get, you know, it's going to be annoying, and it's going to be cool at the same time, though. Okay, then, so we have another 4 mana card, Worgen Greaser, 6 mana, a 4 mana 6/3 with no text. I don't think that's good enough, just because the stat, I don't know, like 3 health on at 4 mana isn't good, because it's just gonna get wrecked, isn't it? It's just gonna get wrecked, and it's gonna die, and a 6 attack's not good enough. It's just gonna get roasted, and no text as well. That means it does get better stats, but like I don't know, I don't know. I think like the 6 attack's good, but the 3 health is it's not good enough. Like a Frostbolt gets rid of that. A lot of 2 mana cards get rid of this. A lot of 2 mana minions get rid of this with 3 attack. It's you know, it's just shit trade. It's just hard to trade with this card unless, I mean, this card can trade up, but will it trade up? And I don't think so. So I don't think it's good enough. Okay then, so we have the 5 mana Grookfu Master, which is a Wind Fury 3/5. No, what was it? The Divine Spirit thing again. So I thought if you do the Divine Spirit thing, so you have, it's exactly 10 mana I think as well, this. So it's Divine Spirit, Holy Fire makes it a 15/15, which with Wind Fury, that's 30 damage to face. So that's a 1-hit KO. New meta for Priest, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the Grookfu Mask is going to be used. It's kind of shit on its own. At 5, I think the problem with Wind Fury is that they overcompensate for it. I mean, it's a cool thing, but this card's just shit. Like, it's just shit. I don't think it's not going to get any play, unless of course the Divine Spirit thing happens. But that's not going to happen. Poor bastard. He's just going to sit in your collection. So I don't think it's good enough. Okay then, so a 5 mana 2/6, the Red Mana Worm. So it's a basically a mana worm, but it's doubled up, but it costs 5, so it costs quintuplet more. I think that's how you say the word. So that's not good enough, I don't think. I mean, like, of course, getting +2 attack is really good. So like, would this run in Tempo Mage? Like, I know it's not a mage card, it's a neutral card, so like, depends what deck you're going for, but I don't think it's, I think there's a better, like, I think another player said that there's other mid-range cards. I mean, it's got nice health, but its attack won't get much higher, I don't think. Unless, of course, you play it turn 10, and then you have a shitload of spells in hand, and that makes it really fucking huge. But I don't think this is good enough. I think there's other mid-range cards that are better. Okay, so we have a 5 mana 4/6 Streetwise Investigator, Battlecry. Enemy minions lose stealth. Not many people run stealth. I mean, like, Rogue will run stealth a bit, because it's Rogue and that's kind of their thing. And there's other, you know, like, you've got like some of the neutral cards from the older sets, which is stealth, which, fair enough, is pretty good. But this won't see much play because its effect is too situational, because there's not always going to be, this is mostly just going to be a 5 mana 4/6. That's really it. It's like having, imagine if Sylvanas was a 5 mana. It was exactly the same, but it's like 50% of the time you steal a random minion. It'd be way shitter because it's not guaranteed, and it wouldn't be run as much. But like the guaranteed taking a minion is really, really valuable, and this won't unstealth much things, unless of course your opponent is a rogue and they use conceal, and you're like, haha, your fucking auctioneer's gonna get wrecked now, but that is not gonna happen much, unless of course fucking Miracle Rogue is the completely new meta and everyone has to run this because they need to fucking stop fucking concealing the auctioneer. So I don't think it's going to get play. 6 mana 3/8 Ancient of Blossoms, you know, kind of a vanilla card just with Taunt. 8 health is really, really good. And this is a good card. This is a very good card in Arena. Because 3 health gets rid of a lot of small things. If there's anything left on the field, it's going to get wrecked, and it'll still be up because of its 8 health. Priest will like this card because it's got so much health. Like, Priest love high health minions, so they could just heal it and trade more, and, you know, maybe, you know, do other shit with it. It seems like a really good card for Arena. But constructed level, maybe. I mean, we have the 8 mana Bog Creeper, which is a 6/8, I think. 6/8, I think, with Taunt, and that's alright card. Of course, this has synergies with like all the other taunt minions. They have synergies with Warrior, with their new cards and other shit. And there's some really like insane combos out there with the where you can keep cards in your hand. They get extra stats because of other cards, and we will get to those. But I don't think this is going to get much play in constructed. Because like the Bog Creeper is technically a good card. It'll be like it was when they like tried to make Taunt Warrior when Karazhan come out. I think in my review I said this card will be good if Taunt Warrior becomes a thing, and it didn't. So Protect the King, that's what it is. Didn't get much play, but because there's new Taunt synergies now, will it be good enough? Only time will tell. But I don't think it's good enough. On its own, synergy-wise, it could be insane. Okay then, so now on to the neutral rare cards. So, the 1 mana Small Time Buccaneer, 1/2 pirate, has +2 attack while you have a weapon equipped. It kind of reminds me of that 1 mana, if you have a mech in play, this has +2 attack. I can't remember its name, it's in Goblins and Gnomes, so that card's not in Standard anymore, and I didn't play much of Goblins and Gnomes. I remember getting wrecked by Dr. Boom sometimes and crying, because I didn't have it, and I didn't have much money. So I was like, free to play, but you know, yeah, it seems alright. Pirate deck. I like there's a lot more pirates as well. So like Pirate Warrior could become a thing. That'd be quite cool. And this is 1 mana, so like, and it could, the synergy wise, if Pirate Warrior becomes a thing, this is going to be amazing. But of course, on its own, it's not. I don't think. The main question is Pirate Warrior going to become a thing? And I don't think so. I just don't think it's strong enough. So I don't think this will get play. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's bad. I might regret that, but I think it's gonna be bad. Okay then, so we have a 4 mana 4/4 Backroom Bouncer. Whenever a friendly minion dies, gain +1 attack. This card doesn't seem that good. I mean, like, it's kind of like having the Cult Master, which is a 4 mana 4/2. Whenever a minion dies, draw a card. When a friendly minion dies, draw a card. But this is +1 attack instead, and it's worse. But you get two extra health. Cult Master doesn't really get much play, but you know, it's a good card when you get it to work. It's like you can draw shitloads of cards if you've got lots of small minions when they die. But the +1 attack, I don't think it's strong enough, so I'm gonna say this card's bad. Okay then, so we have a 5 mana 2/2 Bomb Squad. Battlecry, deal 5 damage to an enemy minion. Death Rattle, deal 5 damage to your hero. A lot of people made this comment and I thought it was hilarious. This is the ultimate counter for Sylvanas. So they play Sylvanas, you play this, destroys their Sylvanas, they steal your Bomb Squad, but of course you have to have an empty board or, you know, get lucky. And they steal Bomb Squad. And then they've lost they just get wrecked. And so that's pretty cool. But I don't think it'll get much play. I don't think it's good enough in constructed. But like the deal 5 damage is what it's kind of like, what's it called? That fucking, it's from Goblins and Gnomes. I think it's 4 mana 3/3. Deal 4 damage to a random enemy minion. I can't remember what it's called. It's on the screen. But I don't think it's good enough. Just good enough for constructed. Unless everyone runs Sylvanas, which is a very good card. So there is, of course, a chance of that happening. Then you might run one of these just in case for a Sylvanas counter. But other than that, I don't think so. Because the Death Rattle could really hurt. It depends how the meta runs. But I think it's good. I think it's a potential card. Okay then, so we have a 5 mana 2/2 Doppelgangster, which I really like the name of this card. This is a really cool card. Battlecry, summon 2 copies of this minion. I think this card is pretty cool. Especially with Don Honcho, that's going to be really fun. If this gets hit by Don Honcho, however you pronounce it, then you're fucked. This is a 7 mana. This is 3 7/7s. You're fucked, mate. This is just going to wreck you, and you're just going to lose. Shit, mate. You're just wrecked. You're just dead. Just like, oh, good game, you're dead. And that just seems really good, because it's really hard to get rid of 3 big minions. And like, this would be good in the paladin thing as well, I think. I think it has a tiny home there, but I think this mostly works with Don Honcho. But yeah, I think this card's good. Sorry about the interruption. Anyway, let's get straight back to it. So we have the 5 mana, 4/5 second rate bruiser. Taunt card costs 2 less if your opponent has at least 3 minions. This is gonna wreck aggro, and I like that. I really do prefer control, to be fair. But anyway, so this is gonna wreck aggro, I think. But that depends if aggro becomes a thing. I think it has the potential to become a thing, but we won't get into that now because there's cards that I think there's a certain deck that's gonna fucking become the aggro thing. If there's anything that's gonna come aggro, it's gonna become that. But anyway, so we have the second rate bruiser. I think it's aggro meta, then this is gonna be good. People are gonna run it because to stop those guys, and it's got 4 health, so it's always gonna destroy those guys pretty well. But other than that, I don't think people are gonna run it because they're gonna just run other things that have, you know, a better stat, I think, for taunts. Of course, I think if the taunt meta comes to Warrior, which I will get into when I talk to about Warrior, I'm really sorry I'm like posing the inevitable, but we'll get into that. So, depends if Taunt Warrior comes to the thing it does, then this card would be, I think that this card could work in there just to stop the aggro. Otherwise, if it will just stop aggro, if that becomes a thing, like a big thing, and he will just slide into your deck. Because he's not a bad 5 mana drop either, because of the 5 health. But his as a 3 drop is really, really good. So anyway, next card is another rider. 5 mana 5/5 spiked hog rider. Battle cry: if an enemy minion has taunt, gain charge. I think this is the one that's going to get played the most if any of them get played, because the 5 mana 5/5 stat line is good, and taunt is much more common than the other one, which we'll get to because it's an epic. I think it has the most potential because of the taunt, like I said, and charge is really good on a 5 mana 5/5. So this will probably just stop people from trying to get out their taunts and and it'll still persist, and it's gonna, you know, trade very well. Anyway, so we have a 6 mana 1/1 big time racketeer battle cry, summon a 6/6 ogre. Now this has really good synergy with Bran. I like that synergy because then you get 2 6/6s, and that's pretty good. So you get a 1/1 and 2 6/6s. Moonglow Portal be damned, because you could pick up a big time racketeer, and that's not very good. And I think that's pretty cool, because the 6/6 ogre will be decent, I think. But will it be good enough for constructed play? Which is where we'll most like, if it's going to be anywhere, because it's a rare, it's going to be there. That rhymed. I'm a fucking rapper now. But I'm going to say no, I don't think that's good enough. If it became a 6/7, then that mean it'd be technically a power creep over, Boulder Fist Ogre, I think. And that doesn't get play. So I don't think it's good enough. But it's a cool card, I really like the concept. And I like how, like, there's going to be a hilarious highlight where someone goes, I got Moonglow Portal, I need a good minion, heals, and then they're like, get Big Tom Racketeer, and he's like, you're right, mate, and they're like, kill me. Anyway, so now we're on to the epic cards for the neutrals. We have 1 mana 1/1 Weasel Tunneler, Death Rattle. Shuffle this minion into your opponent's deck. This card seems really funny, and I really like it. It's just going to fuck with someone, because it's going to go into their deck, and they're like, I need a good top deck, and they get this, and they're going to start crying. And I think that's really cool. So I don't think it's going to get much play, but people who will play it, I think it's quite a cool meme card. And I think it'll get play in those meme-like decks, and it'll be funny. I think it has potential, just because the top deck game is strong. Like, this will fuck over your top deck game. So I think it's a funny, decent card. I think it's a really well-designed card, but I don't think it's going to get much play. Okay then, so we have a 2 mana 2/6 Dirty Rat, Taunt Battle Cry. Your opponent summons a random minion from their hand. Oh, I think this card's really hard to say if it's good or not. This is one of the harder ones in the set, because it's kind of like that card, is it from Naxxramas? I think it was, and it's Death Lord, I think it was, a 2-mana, no, a 3-mana 2/8, and its Death Rattle was it summoned a minion from your opponent's deck. Now, I think this card has potential to be good, but it can fuck you over. Like, of course, if they've got, they've got their hand, if they have no minions in their hand, then this is really good, but most likely they're running minions. So, I think it's good in the sense that if you play this in the beginning of the game, then it's really good, because they're going to mulligan their hand because they want small drops to play first, and then they want the bigger drops later. But of course, you do get unlucky sometimes, and I'm not sure if the battle cry effect works on their minions, so it could fuck you over. I know N'Zoth would fuck you over because it's a 5/7, but its battle cry would be null if that works out, so that'd be pretty good, and this wouldn't die straight away from it. So it has really good potential. I'm gonna say this card's like potential good. I'd like to say it's more good, but like it's so hard to this is one of the harder cards to critique. Because a lot of people said it's bad, but I think it's got really good potential, and I think some people will run it. I'm gonna try and run it and see how it is. It's gonna be my Death Lord. I'm gonna see if it works out for me, but I'm gonna say it's potential, kind of good in the middle of potential and good. So we have a 3-mana 1/1 Blubber Baron. Whenever you summon a Battlecry minion while this is in your hand, gain +1/+1. Now, a lot of people made comparisons with Bolvar 4 Dragon. Bolvar 4 Dragon is a 1/7 for 5 mana, and it's a shit top deck as well as this. I don't think it's gonna get played because it's gonna be too slow. And I tried to make a Battlecry deck once with Bran, loads of Battlecry minions from Shaman. What was that? There was this one card, Crowd Favorite, I think it was, from the fucking Joust one. I can't remember what it's called. That card set, and it wasn't good. It got wrecked. I made a video on a Druid Battlecry deck, and it got fucking roasted. So I don't think it's going to be good enough. But that does mean there's more synergy for Battlecry cards, so maybe this is the card that could boost them up. But I'm going to say no, so I don't think it's good enough. Okay, so we have a Priest card. I'm fucking funny. No, we have a 3-mana 3/7 Falorg Soul Fiend. At the start of your turn, deal 2 damage to this minion. So this is pretty much going to be a Priest exclusive card unless you've got mint heals on any other ones, but I don't see that happening. It's kind of it reminds me of Injured Blademaster, but a tiny bit less health. This is going to be good for trading down into 2s, maybe a few 3s, and this will be good in Priest. I think this is going to be a Priest card, to be honest. I think it's got the potential, and it'll be cool. It's a cool low drop for Priest, but I'm not sure if it's going to see play anywhere else. Okay then, so we have a 5-mana 4/6, the Burgly Bully. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, add a coin to your hand. Now, the 6 health's really good for this card, so that's good. 4 attack is decent. So its stat line's decent, but I don't think the effect's good enough. I think you'll get at least, unless of course the board is really even, then this is going to get you at least 1 coin, which is good. That's good. But I don't think it's good enough, because I remember watching videos where Trogzor the Earthinator was praised. Everyone's like, this card bare OP. No one's gonna run this bad boy. No one's gonna lose. They thought it was gonna be Dr. Boom, but Dr. Boom was Dr. Boom. And those videos are really funny. I like that. But enough about that. I don't think it's good enough because of that comparison. I mean, you can run 2 instead of 1, but Trogzor was a 2 more mana, had better stats, 6/6 only, but its effect was way better. It would summon a 3/5, which is with if your opponent plays a spell, it gets +2 attack, which is really fucking good. So I don't think it's going to see play in Constructed. In Arena, it's not going to show up because it's an epic. Okay, so we have the Defias Cleaner, 6-mana 5/7, Battlecry, silence a minion with Death Rattle. The silence effect is nice, and because this minion's is on curve as well, that'd be really good. And if you're playing in a Zoth deck and you've got Sylvanas, it's just gonna wreck it, or any Death Rattle minion for that matter. So I think it has potential, but it just depends how many Death Rattle decks are out there, and like how many people are running Death Rattle cards. Because there'd be better options otherwise. So I'm not sure if it's good enough. I'm gonna say it's potential, but I'm more leaning in bad. But it's technically a good card, and like the silence mechanic is getting more bumped up because of some of these cards. But I don't think it's good enough. Okay, so we have the Fight Promoter, 6 mana, 4/4 Battle Cry. If you control a minion with 6 or more health, draw 2 cards. This card seems really cool. I really like this card. I really like how it's designed. Also, they've said like if this card itself is a 6 attack, I mean 6 health, then it works. So Battle Cry, it's got 6 health. It'll draw you 2 cards. That's really good. I think this card will get play because of the drawing 2 cards is insane, and I think it'll work well with the Paladin cards. There's a lot of Paladin cards which like increase card stats in your hand, and it'll work really well with those. And I'm really excited for this card. I think it's gonna get play. Okay, then, so we have the last rider. We have the Leatherclad Hog Leader, a 6 mana 6/6. If your opponent has 6 or more cards in hand, gain charge. Now, like, unless control becomes a big thing and everyone's got 10 cards in their hands, this card's gonna suck, because you're gonna try and play around it anyway. Because if this card becomes a thing, people are gonna play around it, and then it's not gonna get play. It could have a vicious cycle of where, no one's running it because no one has 6 more, so I'm gonna take that risk, and then you're gonna get punished if they do run it. But other than that, I don't think it's good enough. Okay, so you have a 6 mana 5/5 Wind Up Burglebot. Whenever this attacks a minion and survives, draw a card. I think this reminds me of like a worse Acolyte of Pain, but a really worse version of Acolyte of Pain, because at 6 mana it's really vulnerable, and it's just gonna get wrecked, I think. And you gotta wait a whole turn before you can do it. And they're gonna get, and it's not like, you know, if they hit it with Frostbolt, you draw a card. It's you have to attack with this minion, and it has to survive. There's too many conditions. It's got too many conditions for you to draw a card for it to be any good. So I think it's bad. Okay, then, so now we're getting onto the juicy legendaries of the normal ones, the neutral cards. Patches the Pirate, 1 mana 1/1 charge. After you play a pirate, summon this minion from your deck. Pretty cool tempo play. It's kind of like a wild boar, but like, of course, it comes out your deck for some reason, because it's pissed off or something. But I'm not sure if that's good enough. It's fair enough. It's kind of a right tempo play with the charge and that, but like, it just doesn't seem good enough. From like, I don't know, like, why would you run this instead of a different pirate, which is better? If the pirate meta comes around and somehow this sits in there, then fair enough. But I don't think it's good enough, to be fair. Okay, so we have a 3 mana 3/4 Auction Master Beardo. After you cast a spell, refresh your hero power. Now this card has really insane synergy with Priest, with the Priest card that's coming out. So I'm going to give off most of the information there when we get to it. So happy days. But I think this card is not good unless that becomes a thing, and I'm hoping it does, because it seems it's going to be a fucking sweet ass deck. But I'm going to say it's potential. It's not a good card in other decks. Like, I don't think it's only good in this one kind of archetype that could happen. I'm not seeing much happening with this card. It is a really cool card though. I really like this card, and it's on curve as well, so that's really good. But I don't think it's going to see much play. Sergeant Sally, 3 mana 1/1. Death Rattle, deal damage equal to this minion's attack to all enemy minions. Now this card seems really cool. It's kind of like if the Leper Gnome took steroids. I think this will be seen in a lot of games that boost this guy's attack and you know, like boost cards in your hand. Or you know, in aggro decks as well, because you can get in there and fight Maggot, and that's 3 extra damage to face, and it's incredible. So this card is really good in aggro. So I think it's a good card, but depends how aggro you want to go. Or it'll be, if anything, it'll be in the Grimy Goon set, I think. And it'll be like cards that boost it. Not seen in anywhere else because they don't have the potential to boost it up. Okay, so we have Genzo the Shark. 4 mana 5/4. When this card's whenever this attacks, both players draw until they have 3 cards. This kind of reminds me of Jeeves, but better. Because it's on curve. Because Jeeves is like 3 mana 1/4, I think. And it's all at the end of the turn instead. I think this is better because it's more on curve, and you can choose when you want to draw cards. This could be a good aggro card because, you know, like you play it, and then you can go, okay, so I'm going to play some of my cards, and then I'm going to draw, and then you can stop your opponent from drawing and stuff. And it seems really cool. So I think it's a good card, and it's I'm just going to say it's good. But if the dark type doesn't come out, it's not going to be good. Okay, so we have a 5 mana 2/4 Finger the Flying Star stealth minion. Whenever this attacks and kills a minion, summon 2 Murlocs from your deck. Now, if this is going to enable so many Murloc aggro, if the cards are right. This could pull out a War Leader, and then this guy becomes a fucking 4/5. That's pretty good. It could pull out 2, and it's just wrecking everyone. And it's got stealth as well, so I think this is going to be a good card for those decks. I mean, I know it's 5 mana and it's got shit stats, but it's mostly going to trade, because unless you Flame Strike it, it's going to be on the field usually, or, you know, another AoE, but, like, that's going to be rare. Rare. I think this card's good. Madam Goya, 6 mana 4/3, Battlecry. Choose a friendly minion, swap it with a minion in your deck. This card's got a really cool effect. It kind of reminds me of what's your name? Barnes. Barnes? Is it? 4 mana 3/4. Summon a 1/1 version of minion in your deck. I think it's Barnes. I don't know. I think I'm correct there. I'm not sure. But this card seems really cool like that, because it could summon 10 Sarge or something. But of course, you need something on the field. There's quite a few requirements, and it could go all tits up. But I think it's got a lot of potential value, so it's going to see play. And if it sticks, I'm not sure. So I'm going to say it's potential. Okay, then, so we have a 6 mana 4/5 Wrathion. Taunt, Battlecry. Draw cards until you draw one that isn't a dragon. This is going to be in every dragon deck in the world. It's going to fucking wreck. It's going to be really good. Unless you get really lucky and draw your whole, like, all your dragons in one go, and, like, you mill at your deck. This is really cool, because you could draw, like, 3 cards, and you just roasting them. Even drawing 2 cards off this is insane. And it's got, like, cool, and it's a taunt 4/5. It's really good value. This is going to be, I think this card's really, really good. Mayor Noggenfogger. All targets are chosen randomly. 9 mana 5/4. This card seems trolly as fuck. This is the memeiest card in the world. I don't think it's very good, but it's going to have some mint highlights. And it's going to be really fun to see. And I'm all for that. So good luck with the memeing, Mayor Noggenfogger. I hope we'll see you in Gadgetzan. Okay then, so for part 1, I'm going to do the Druid cards, and I'm going to do the Hunter cards, and then the rest and then in the second part, I'm doing the rest of the other class cards, and the Grimy Goons, and the tri-class cards. So, Druid. 1 mana, Mark of the Lotus. Spell, give your minions +1/+1. It's kind of like having, it's like kind of like Mark of the Wild, but on a 1 mana, and it's not a choose one. Having that choose one effect is really good for Druid. And I think if I tried aggro Druid and it was shit, which was upsetting, because I thought no one's going to expect that, so I put everything that you usually put in an aggro deck. I don't know, it just didn't work. It was shit, but I tried it. But if that could come round, and that'd be pretty funny, seeing like people getting wrecked by like aggro Druid. It would suck though, because I'm not much of a fan of aggro, but it seemed, it's a cool deck concept. So I think aggro Druid play, otherwise no, because you don't really have that many minions out when you're playing Druid. They're really good at control. So a 3-mana spell, Jade Blossom, summon a Jade Golem, gain an empty mana crystal. Right then, Jade. So the big fuck off question is: are Jade Golems good? And the answer, I think, is yes. I think they're fucking mint. They're gonna roast. I think they're gonna be really, really good. Because 3-class, the dry class for Druid, and that I'm not exactly sure who it is. Druid, Shaman, and Rogue. Rogue, yeah, it's Rogue. They get the Jade cards, and the Jade Blossom. The Jade cards are gonna be fucking mint, I reckon. So this is pretty much wild growth, but you could get like a fuck off big minion on it, which seems really insane. I'm gonna say Jade Blossom's good. Another Jade card, 6 mana, 3/6. Jade Behemoth, Taunt, Battlecry, summon a Jade Golem. I think this card's gonna be cool. I think it's pretty good. It's got really good health and 3 attack. So because I think the Jade Blossom cards are gonna be good. This card's going to be in it because they'll want every single Jade Blossom, Jade card. Why do I keep saying Jade Blossom? Jade Golem card in there. And this will be in there because it's a Jade Golem card. So I think this is going to be played if Jade Golems are going to be played. And I think I think they're definitely going to be played, especially in Druid. And you'll see why next. So I think this card's good. Jade Idol, 1 mana, choose 1, summon a Jade Golem, or shuffle 3 copies of this card into your deck. Fatigue, Druid, eat your heart out. This is going to be fucking the Fatigue card of the century, and it's going to fucking wreck. This card seems really overpowered, and everyone's like, this card's like fucking insane. Because like, at one point, you're going to be like, Jade, 1 mana, 7/7, 1 mana 10/10, 1 mana, this is ridiculous, why did they print this card, kind of thing. It seems really good, and because you can shuffle more of it into your deck, it's pretty good, and it's got synergy with that legendary from Whisper of the Old Gods, Fandral Staghelm, that's it. That's gonna fucking wreck. I think this card's insane. I think it's gonna be played. Druid, 5 mana 4/5, Vermin Sensei. Battlecry, give a friendly minion +2/+2. From what I've seen, people are kind of mixed, but most people are saying this card's not very good. Because it's not that strong. I mean, it's kind of slightly off curve, but Druid hasn't been playing Beast. There isn't really a Beast Druid deck out there. I mean, there is potential with you know, the Menagerie Warden. That card's really good. It just needs those extra bumps. I'm not sure if this is going to be the bump that it needs, but it's the bump that it deserves. I think this card is bad, but I think it might get run in if it becomes a thing, but it's probably just gonna be a one-off, maybe not even run. And if that is the case, then that means Druid haven't added anything to Beast Druid, because if this doesn't get played, they haven't added anything to it, so it's bad. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's bad. Okay then, we have Celestial Dreamer. Battlecry. If a friendly minion has 5 or more attack, gain +2/+2. Shit. I actually haven't seen this card. That's really weird. Like, that's why I'm like drawing a blank. I don't know. Like, that doesn't seem that good actually. This is like one of the only cards I haven't seen beforehand. Like, over the ones I've seen other people review them, this is like the only one. That's really weird. Or I fucking wasn't paying attention either way. But I don't know. Like, I'm gonna say this card's bad. Because it's I mean, it's on curve, that's good, but if it's played on turn 3, you're not gonna have, there's not much chance you're gonna have a 5 attack minion on your side of the field, and it's gonna suck a bit. So I'm gonna say it's bad. I don't know. I feel a bit mean saying it's bad. I've got really ill all of a sudden, but I think it's bad. So we have a 3 mana Pilfered Power, gain an empty mana crystal feature for any minion. Now this is going to be good if Aggro Druid becomes a thing, and I don't think Aggro Druid has enough stuff for it to happen. But with Mark of the Lotus and Pilfered Power, it has potential. But are those cards really going to push it into the aggro field? Probably not. I don't think it's good enough. Lunar Visions, 5 mana, draw 2 cards, minions drawn cost 2 less. This is a pretty cool draw card, and it makes your minions cheaper as well. Of course, genius. I can read. That seems quite cool. But is it going to get played? I think it's got potential. Because then you've got a better tempo play next turn, or maybe even this turn if you get minions that like quite semi-big minions. So I think it's got potential, and draw cards are really good, and we need draw. They need draw cards. So I'm gonna say this card's even if it is overstat, like drawing 2 cards for mana isn't the best. If you've got a lot of minions, then it'll be really good. So potential. We have Kun, the Forgotten King, legendary druid card. 10 mana, 7/7. Choose one. Gain 10 armor or refresh your mana crystals. This card seems pretty fucking amazing. It's a 0 mana. It's technically a 0. You can make this a 0 mana 7/7, but of course you have to have 10 mana, which is a really cool way of making this minion. And then like, I had, what was it? Someone said, Aviana, Kun the Forgotten King, refresh mana crystals, rip. Your opponent's dead. By your opponent. So this card has insane potential. I think this card's good. I think this card is actually pretty good. And of course it's got Fagdor Staghelm synergy. So gaining 10 armor and refreshing your mana crystals. That's really, really good. So I think this card's good. Okay then, so Hunter. 1 mana, 1/1, Battlecry, add a cat. Battlecry, summon a 1/1 cat. This card's really good. I think it's a beast, of course, and the cat's going to be a beast. If it isn't a beast, that's pretty silly. But this card seems decent. And it's going to make mid-range Hunter, or aggro Hunter, or face Hunter, I should say, annoying as hell, and it's going to add to that. But I think it's good. I'm going to say it's a good card, because it's pretty, 1 mana cards are, like this, are really, really good. Okay then, so Smuggler's Crate, 1 mana, give a random beast in your hand +2/+2. It seems decent. If you're running Beast Druid, 1 mana, 1 mana +2/+2 is pretty good. But Beast, did I say fucking Beast Druid? Beast Hunter, which is pretty much what they're usually going for anyway. So this has big work, big chance. I'm gonna say it's potential. Just depends. I think a 1 mana 2/2, 1 mana +2/+2 is really good. And it's in your hand as well, so like, it is random as well. I still think it's solid. I think it's a potential. 3 mana 3/3, Shaky Zip Gunner, Death Rattle, give a random minion in your hand +2/+2. That's really good. Straight up value, that's insane. That's pretty much a 3 mana 5/5. Of course, you play the whole thing later though. Of course, you have to have a minion in your hand as well. But I think you're gonna have a minion in your hand when you play this. So I think this card's good. 2 mana Secret, Hidden Cache. I think that's how you pronounce it. Secret. After your opponent plays a minion, give a random minion in your hand +2/+2. That seems pretty solid actually. But I think this could be run with what is it? Cat Trick. But it's not going to be your traditional Hunter. Because I think the other secrets are kind of ish better. If they had a secret hunter with this in it, like beast and that, but that's a lot. That's asking a lot. You only have 30 cards in a deck, so like you're gonna be cramming so much shit in it. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be hard to find a spot for this. So I think this is bad. I want to say bad. I don't know. I'm gonna say potential. You know, I'm gonna bump up to potential, but it just depends how good a secret that gives you +2, a minion in your hand +2/+2 is, and it's really hard. I'm gonna say it's potential. Okay, so a 2-mana 3/2 battle cry, give a random beast in your hand +1/+1. That's pretty good. That's a 4-mana. That's a 2-mana 4/3. That's really good. Value-wise, that's really good. Yeah, that's really good value-wise. You get your value later though, and well started. Will work if you have a Beast Hunter. Good card. Okay, so we have a Dispatch Kodo, Battlecry, deal damage equal to this minion's attack. I think this card's pretty good. It's got really good stats, and people would run this in this used to kind of run this anyway, like in Druid, which was a choose. But of course it was patched. It became a 2/2. It was a choose one, silence a minion, or deal 2 damage. And this seems like that, but with better potential. And I think that just makes it a good card. Okay, then, so we have Rat Pack, a 3-mana 2/2 Death Rattle. Summon a number of 1/1 rats equal to this minion's attack. This is going to be in Face Hunter if it becomes a thing. It's going to get insane value. It's going to annoy everyone, and it's going to wreck, I think, because of that. So I think this card's really good. It's pretty much like what's it? That fucking wolf, Infested Wolf, 4-mana 3/3. Big up Death Rattle. Summon 2 1/1 spiders, but better. 1 less mana, more chance of getting more minions. So I think it's good. Piranha Launcher. Whenever your hero attacks someone, a 1/1 piranha. A cool weapon for Hunter. But will it be played? It seems a bit slow. I mean, at 5 mana, doing 2 damage, you can get 4 1/1s, which is really cool. But I'm not sure if that's good enough. I think it's too slow for Hunter. I think they want to. Their mid range is like pretty strong. I think, because you know that what they usually do is they do their mid range, then they get out Call of the Wild, and then they wreck you with that. I think it's just a bit too slow. But it's a cool card. I really like the design of this card. I'm gonna say potential, just because I like it a little bit, and I wouldn't mind seeing it. We have the legendary for Hunter, Knuckles, the Echidna. Okay, no. We have Knuckles, the Gorilla. After this attacks a minion, it also hits the enemy hero, a 5-mana 3/7 beast. This card seems really good because it's got lots of health. It might have small attack, but you're pretty much getting double damage if you're attacking minions. So like you can kill a 2-drop. This does 6 damage in total, and just does a lot of damage. And you could rack up a lot of points. But of course, if it gets attacked into, it doesn't get that. So it depends how many times you can get Knuckles to attack into anything. I think this will get at least 1 attack in because of its high health. But other than that, I'm not sure. Good. We got a question on our hands. Is that good enough? Mid-range Hunter might like this card, but it could be a bit weak. I'm gonna say potential. I think it's a cool card, and it's strong, but it's not strong enough. So I'm gonna say well, I don't think it's strong enough. I'm gonna say it's potential. Okay then, so that's part 1. Click someone's screen or go into the description for part 2, and I will see you there, which will cover all the other class cards and the grimy goons. So thank you for watching part 1, and I'll see you in part 2 hopefully.